Oh my God. Oh, look at me. I'm looking messy. I'm sorry. It's been a morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together live. Live. We are live today after 3 days of pre-recorded cultural adventures. We are live, and after a nice, well-deserved, much enjoyed vacation in Guadalajara and a birthday celebration with dear friends, it is such a pleasure to be back here with you. Thank you so much for sticking around while I was gone. Thank you so much for the many birthday wishes, which I am going to respond to one by one during the course of the day. I hope you all had some good adventures in the past few days. I had a wonderful time being away, and I am so happy to be back with Luna and with all of you. And I have some photos to share before the end of the broadcast is over. But here we are. It is a pleasure to be back, and it is a pleasure to be back with your company on this Wednesday, July 12th, where we have all kinds of news. As always, if you're watching live for the first time, please let us know. This is Coffee and Headlines, where you can share your thoughts, ideas, and concerns and questions about living in Puerto Vallarta, living in Mexico as a community of an English-speaking locals. We do our best to try to connect the dots with all these questions and all these connections and nurture ourselves from them. So, again, if you are watching live for the first time, feel free to let us know. And you can do that by writing the word new at the beginning of your comment. Or if you have something really pressing, it helps a great deal to add a capital letter Q to your comment, as Albert has done here. Hola, Paco and Cluster from a warming Woodland Hills. Welcome back, Paco. We missed you. I missed you too. Some of you I have the pleasure of knowing better, so it is always better than others, and I look forward to knowing everyone as much as I can, but it is inevitable to go away and think to oneself, oh, such and such person would really like this. And so in a way, many of you traveled with me, and I hope your ears buzzed through the process. Let us take a quick look at the news, and then we'll tell you a little bit more about the adventure over the weekend. For starters, Calvin, which used to be Tropical Depression 3E, is now a tropical storm. It was supposed to hit land or develop through the weekend, and it's interesting to see that this hasn't happened. But now it is Tropical Storm Calvin, and it is moving slowly through the Pacific. As of yesterday, it was 820 kilometers southwest of Manzanillo in Colima, heading north at 33 kilometers per hour. It is expected to generate a heavy rains in the state of Jalisco and even stronger in Nayarit through the rest of this weekend. We'll keep ourselves posted on details of this just in case the storm intensifies. Now, along with summer rains, it is not unusual to experience a power outage when the weather gets out of hand. And I found an article that details what to do in case you need to report a power outage. Say you're at home minding your own business and all of a sudden you hear thunder and lightning and you get a power outage. In a nutshell, there is a phone number, there is a web page, you need to have your contract, it must be paid up. And you may think to yourselves, well, of course you need to have a contract. Well, a lot of people steal electricity in Mexico. So, for better or worse, you do need to have a contract. It needs to be paid up. Then you need to provide specific information about your electrical meter and its number and your address and so forth and so on. You can call 071 or access the Comisión Federal de Electricidad's website, which is mentioned in the article. And according to the article, the CFE, the electrical company, never takes more than 10 hours to restore the service. I really hope this doesn't happen to you, but if it happens to you, here are the mechanisms you can pursue to have your electricity restored. And needless to say, we haven't mentioned this in a while, but if you have electrical items that you treasure, getting a power surge, surge power, one of those chingaderas you can buy at Costco to prevent your electricals from frying is always a good idea during the summer months. Moving right along, please be relieved should you wish to die in Puerto Vallarta and be buried. The Puerto Vallarta City Council has approved a new line of credit for 130 million pesos, which will be used to purchase a piece of land in Las Palmas to build a new cemetery for the municipality. As an aside, we've reported at least twice in the last few months that the city has been slowly but steadily running out of cemetery plots. So it is nice to see that a path has been determined to address this situation. President López Obrador celebrated the arrival of the first train car in Cancun for the new Maya train, also announcing that trial runs will begin on September 1st. The cars are being manufactured elsewhere in the country by a company called Alstom. The company's factory is located in Ciudad Sahagún in the state of Hidalgo, not far from Mexico City, as a matter of fact. So each individual train car or train wagon, I don't know what the proper term would be, has to be transported by land from Hidalgo to the Yucatan Peninsula. And that's not a walk in the park. Each one of the train cars needs to be transported from all the way over here and all the way over there so that they can be added to the train track system. And of course, if they ever break down, they need to be taken back to be repaired and maintained. That's crazy, but it's good to know that the project is moving right along. And this one surprised me. As I was heading to Guadalajara on the bus, I read that after a number of disagreements with the Movimiento Ciudadano Party, Jalisco Governor Enrique Alfaro surprised many by announcing that he will not pursue the presidency of Mexico in 2024 and that he will retire from politics until the time is right. It is worth mentioning that Governor Enrique Alfaro became the governor of Jalisco as an independent candidate. He's never expressed a want or need to be aligned to any particular party, and apparently this was needed to be able to go or run for the presidency, and he was trying to align with the Movimiento Ciudadano. This didn't happen. All I can say is that despite all the criticism that he gets, I am happy to have Governor Alfaro as a governor, and I am happy that he will see the remainder of his term looking after the state and not designating a replacement while he runs for president. Moving right along, I have a few other things to share before we go into chit-chat mode. And of course, you may already know about this. This was announced late last week, so you may have already seen it. The 5th edition of the Mango Festival is starting on July 15 and will continue for a month with 25 restaurants sharing mango-inspired cuisine. In addition, a special event will take place at Plaza at Plaza Lázaro Cárdenas on Saturday from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. I tried to find an official website or Facebook page for this, but I couldn't as of this morning. So I'll keep my eyes open as we, of course, want to find out which are the restaurants that are participating in this adventure. So if you know of an official website, or if you've seen it and I've missed it and you want to share it with me, please let me know. Now, before I give you the blow by blow, or at least a little bit of our trip to Guadalajara, one of the things that I wanted to do in Guadalajara during this trip is to explore the newly discovered Puente de las Damas, or the Bridge of the Ladies, which is now it's a bridge, but it is now underground. You see, back in the late 1700s, in fact, the bridge was built over the time lapse of 7 years between 1791 and 1798, in the neighborhood or the area of Mexicalcingo, which is now part of Guadalajara City, but at the time it wasn't. There were a number of ladies of wealth, and these ladies of wealth were quite enamored with the work that a specific priest, Father Antonio Alcalde, was doing with his parish, and they wanted to support him, the fine, nice ladies of Guadalajara. But in order to get from Guadalajara to Mexicalcingo at the time, it was wild. There was no city between Guadalajara and Mexicalcingo. And in the summer months, the rivers would rise and make it very difficult to get from one place to another. So these ladies commissioned a bridge. And when I say a bridge, I'm talking about a bridge that is overground. And there are paintings that that show this bridge. We've shown them in the past. And so the ladies had their bridge to reach their church, and they were happy and all was well. And then, of course, centuries went by and the city grew, and it grew up as well, such that sometime last year, the city was doing some digging for this, that, and the other, and they found the bridge. The bridge had been lost. Like, historians knew it existed, but they didn't know exactly where it was. And it was found, obviously, it was found now underground. So last year, the city fixed this up and opened the bridge to the public on March 24. I mentioned this for a couple of reasons. First of all, while I was in Guadalajara, there was this feature that was published in one of the city papers. And secondly, because the entrance to this bridge was literally 2 blocks away from the place where we stayed. And we walked past it a couple of times and learned that in order to enjoy it, you need to wait in line, and they have guided tours every hour on the hour. So we decided not to go there. Now, in case you're wondering what happened on this trip, well, again, I went with 5 of my dearest friends, plus a new boyfriend. Somebody brought a boyfriend, and we ended up booking an Airbnb at this palatial house, gorgeous property, which was built in the late 1800s in the neighborhood of Mexicalcingo. The house won a first place in a competition, or it won an award in 2015 as the best old house reconstruction or restructuring, or the bestly maintained house, something like that. All I know is that this was the office. It's like we had a swimming pool in the middle of Guadalajara. I mean, who has ever heard of a swimming pool in the middle of Guadalajara? And we spent a lot of time in there because the weather allowed it. The house had 5 separate bedrooms, not counting the suite owned by the owner of the house. Each bedroom has its own bathroom, so we had a lot of privacy from one another, and we had a lot of great time just hanging out near the kitchen or in the pool or and so forth and so on, drinking and chatting and having a good time. This is us right before we were getting ready to go to the concert. And then, of course, we flipped the switch, and this is us Having fun. We all brought gowns. Well, not gowns, but we all brought pretty clothes to wear. And of course, at the theater, we all struck a pose together prior to the concert. This was an opera performance of Madame Butterfly, which went very well. It was a packed house. Take a quick look at the bow. And that's Madame Butterfly wearing red. And of course, this is a view from the stage as she was taking the bows. If you were wondering where we were on the first balcony. So we had a perfect view of the opera performance. We bought our tickets way ahead of time because we wanted to get good seats. Of course, for me to visit any one of my temples, it's always a source of nourishment and satisfaction. And it was great to see that the event was sold out. There's nothing more nurturing in my mind than going to a concert hall and being surrounded by people and the energy they put out when they are enjoying an event together. And that was Guadalajara in a nutshell. Did we do much of anything? Nope. We ended up spending a lot of time in the, oh my God, I have a red nose because of all the time in the sun. We ended up just chilling. It was a chilling trip. We went out for a nice restaurant for dinner one night. Our dear friends Luisa and Luke, who are part of the cluster now living in Guadalajara, they came and spent the first evening with us. They brought cake. So it was amazing. It was the kind of adventure that when you're traveling with friends that you travel well with, staying at a big property together was a great way to do it. And now I'm going to take a quick look at your questions, starting with Claude, because that is a very good question. How did I get those photo angles of the opera? Well, I didn't take them myself, that's for sure. One came from a review from one of the local papers, and the other one came from the Facebook page of the woman, the opera star that sang the role of Cho-Cho-san, the leading role in Madame Butterfly. She posted that in her own Facebook page. So there's many more photos I'll be sharing as I get a chance to polish them and whatnot. But let me take a quick look at your good mornings and good afternoons. Hello, David, Jimmy, Sly, Claude. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Karen, it's great to read you. Albert, same thing. Luisa, you and Luke just made my day. We had such a great time hanging out and eating pastel de tres leches, or 3-milk cake. It was just wonderful. It was great to get your very nurturing and nourishing comments about the special features that I pre-recorded for you. I really appreciated that. Oh, and I watched all the 3 shows. I was there with you. So it was a nice reminder of what the experience of watching Coffee and Headlines is like. I needed that, and it was good to see how much fun you have with one another. Let's see. Shout out to a wonderful cluster member, Lars. Yes, he is. Yes, he is a wonderful cluster member. Absolutely. Let's see what we have. Toodie-doo to too many good mornings. Thank you very much. Thank you for that, Barbara. Happy homecoming. Luna was not happy, of course, but she was excited and angry at the same time. And of course, in the middle of the night, she's like, oh God, is he really back or is he not? So she showered me with love and licking at like 4 o'clock in the morning. This morning, I had no choice but to comfort her and love her as she deserves. Let's see. There's a queue here. If you have the CFE application, you can report it from there. Just tap and send. Trust me, I've had to do it a few times now. Well, that is a good thing to know. If you have an iPhone or maybe an Android, there's an application that can be used. Alan asks, is it possible to install whole house surge protection on your electrical panel box? That's a good question, Alan. I don't know the answer to that. I am only familiar with the individual boxes that we buy at Costco. I suppose that would be a good question for a construction engineer or an architect, or even the CFE. I mean, they would know. Let's see what else. I enjoyed and learned a lot from your history lessons. Please keep them coming and let us know when the new YouTube site is ready. Thank you, Paco. You are a rock star. Thank you, Kathleen. I don't see myself as a rock star, but I'm just excited about the knowledge that I come across from Mexico and Puerto Vallarta and this, that, and the other. And I just love sharing that knowledge with you. Let's see what else. Purim pum pum pam pum, piri tin 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 tin. Let's see. Oh, Muffin. Muffin, my week is completely thrown off, says Logan. I couldn't remember what day it was this morning as I was waking up. We had a great time. And Lars says, yes, there is a type of surge protector which can be installed next to your main breaker board. Recommend getting an official electrician to install it. That's a great suggestion. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Dun, 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 dun. Then I see comments about the house. It was magnificent. It had the highest ceilings. Let's see what else. Let's see what else. I think we're there. Yay. JC loved the pics of old PV. I love finding old photographs of Puerto Vallarta and also of Guadalajara. And I'm happy to share those with you from time to time. And I think we are almost caught up. I still need to take a look at all your comments, and I will be doing that this afternoon. I want to once again thank you all for being a part of Coffee and Headlines, for letting me bring you along in my travels, and for waiting patiently for my return. As always, I wish you a great day. Snarky weather guy. Did we not have snarky weather? Did I miss? Oh my God, I missed the weather. Hold on just a second. My goodness. Snarky weather guy. We can't have that. It was all set to go. Hold on just a second. Whatever happened to that? I went directly from one thing to another. Okay, the weather. It's sunny. Fuck yeah. 29 degrees, feels like 34. Humidity is at 72%. Our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees, 85 degrees. Our weather forecast for today: clear skies in the morning with rain in the afternoon, a chance of rain of 25%, a high of 33 and a low of 24. Tomorrow, Thursday, clear skies in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon, but I don't mind. I'll be doing my music appreciation presentation on opera, so it'll be wonderful. A high of 34, a low of 25, and a chance of rain of 43%. That would be for tomorrow. And then on Friday, mostly clear skies in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon. Chance of rain 76%, a high of 33, and a low of 26. Now we can go. Yes, I've given the weather. We have everything we need. So we are good to go. I see that there's a new person. Who was that? Well, whoever you are, new person, I will give you... Oh, there you go. Michelle, new person from Haida, Guay. Okay. Welcome and goodbye, because we are unfortunately finishing the broadcast for today, but we'll be back again tomorrow. I hope to see you then.